Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. I'm George Onyibe, as always. And this morning, just a quick reminder, just a moment of sober reflection, a period to remind us that we cannot expect a different result with the same formula. And so let us look at a message I simply titled, Imagine, as Nigerians, if all the energy, if all the time, if all the resources that we have been using, we have deployed in an effort to destroy Nigeria, was actually channeled towards her development. Imagine. And most of you will begin to wonder, or maybe you will want to know the mindset behind these brokers, the aim and its purpose. There are a lot of issues that require attention, so much to be addressed as far as Nigeria is concerned. But in the midst of this hullabaloo, I can assure you that there are more people whose interest is, let us tear down Nigeria. And it is appalling that most people who have spent their time, resources, and energy trying to destroy Nigeria will not even survive on their own. But they are not looking at it from this angle. Because to them, somewhere along the line, they have had the privileges to take advantage of using other ethnic groups in the context of one Nigeria. They've not been able to envisage that if Nigeria eventually divide, most of the things that they think is giving them power, advantage over others, will be withheld. And now, let us go back to the current issue as it started in the beginning. And that is the issue of Igbo people trying to unite with their father and their mother, which is a fraud, a deception, and another privilege for them to use other ethnic group to cause confusion in Nigeria. And then they will blame it on those supposed minority. After all, we do not have a voice in Nigeria. Chukwuma Nzogo, when it is favorable for them to unite with us, he becomes an Igbo man. But when it is not favorable, it's time to take the fall, then it's not an Igbo man. And we as a people, we will not deny Chukwuma Nzogo from Okpana. It's an Anyoma man. We will not deny him, no matter what happened. But record and history will have it that guy was used, but he fall for them. And of course, he's not a coward. He would not want to banter words with anybody, and that is why he took his life. And I'm sure nobody will judge him today because he paid for it. But come to the other end of it. The Igbo people who use him abandoned him. He gave birth to Agu Yoronsi taking over Nigerian leadership, which you already know. And this very Nigerian was reconfigured. But then, in a time like this, these same people are looking for who to use. Believe me, their target is South-South. And in South-South, their major target is Ikwere people and Anyoma people. And this is because of our liberality in nature. And this is because we are approachable. This is because we have not taken things to heart the way they are doing. Of course, there are other ethnic groups that they are trying to drag into these shenanigans, but their major attention is on Ikwere and Anyoma. And like I said, in line with our topic, if all the energy Igbo Biafra people have spent in the past 10 years or more in the name of Biafra under Nnamdi Kanu and the people that sent him was actually geared towards the development of Nigeria, we could only imagine how Nigeria would have been today. A country blessed with natural and human resources, a country who has a lot to benefit from its diversification. No, you can imagine if all the resources that is spent by the Islamic State in the guise of looking for Islamic nation was spent towards creating a unity among Nigeria. Imagine if Sunday Igboho, who was saying he want to do the one nation, has actually spent those resources towards the development unity of Nigeria. No, imagine. But do not be surprised. It is all game, but they will lose in the end because every ethnic group in Nigeria has awakened, just that most people don't know yet. Let me come back. In my last broadcast, the broadcast before the last one, I pointed out that the Igbo Unity Project and agenda, its only purpose is to create or instigate one ethnic group against another. I set an example, but let's focus on Ikwere this morning. You see, the first thing that happened was that Igbo Biafra Unity Beggar Obedient Movement moved in to prove that Ikwere is Igbo. Do not forget, they are looking for who to use. And the two major ethnic groups they have on site is Anyoma people and Ikwere people. And of course, Senator Ned Nwoko is ready to do their bidding, as Senator Mbata is already doing their bidding. And now, they moved in and said fraudulently that the next leader of Ohanaeze Ndigbo is now Ikwere man. Invariably, Ikwere people are Igbo people. Ikwere people speak Igbo language. And Ikwere land ultimately is Igbo land. But Mbata may think he's educated, but believe me, he don't have sense. Because if it is all about money, there are a lot of things that makes money insufficient. If it's all about political power, there is a limit you can benefit from political power. They should understand. And now let's go back. And so since then, there have been one banter forth and back between the Ikwere people. They started grumbling and mumbling that Senator Mbata is not representing them. You know, Igbo people have social media warriors. They sponsor them heavily. They are everywhere in the streets looking for validation to be able to pull their next shot. And so these Igbo social media warriors went to different market squares, different places, and then begin to interview the people. This is huge resources, time and energy they are putting to convince you that Ikwere is Igbo. I'm coming. But the outcome from this very project was not in favor of them. Because 99.9% of all the Ikwere people they interviewed said they are not Igbo and gave their own view and opinion. And then the next thing that happened, this got to the attention of the leaders of Ogbako Ikwere. And these leaders of Ogbako Ikwere called a meeting and issued a press communique, disassociating from Senator Mbata and his Ohanaeze Ndigbo, whatever. But it didn't stop there. The Igbo people went around, looked for some hungry Eneka people, organized a kangaroo press communique, and then countered the Ogbako Ikwere. And this was what gave birth to my broadcast before this very one. And said, why instigating Ikwere people against each other? And as far as the Ogbako Ikwere is concerned, only Eneka cannot dictate for Rumukurushi. Only Eneka will not dictate for Igirita. I'm not talking about Elibolo, Oginigba, and the other Azis. And then, if, for instance, the whole Ogbako Ikwere have to fight with Eneka, and then they destroy Eneka, is that the progress you're looking for in Nigeria? Because Igbo man want us to unite with them? Okay, if Eneka become this very powerful and destroy the Ogbako Ikwere, is that the kind of Nigerian we are trying to build under the influence of we are Igbo? And now, the fourth and back banter is still on. But just recently, the Eneka people themselves now has come up to issue a press communique. And what are they saying? That yes, they have seen the decision and the path that Senator Mbata is taking. And they will not question him. They will not ask him anything. If he chooses, he's an Igbo man. And then so be it. But there was something they were concerned about. And that is saying that his ancestors come from Igbo. Ikwere ancestor did not come from Igbo. This is fellow Eneka telling Senator Mbata. And the question should be now, should Eneka begin to fight against Eneka? Rumwesana people, supposedly where Senator Mbata claimed to come from. Are you people ready to fight with other Ikwere people? But I know you are not part of this. Because I'm yet to see, outside of bundles of land, acres of land, hijacked by Senator Mbata, I'm yet to see any public utility, any public facility built by Senator Mbata that Ikwere people can look up to and be very proud of themselves. Aside the fact that they have millions of acres of land. But we will get to that. And now, the Igbo Biafra people. You have no idea how much was in the control of Nnamdi Kanu. You have no idea how much was given to Simon Ekpa to do that rubbish they are doing. You have no idea how much was given to Ngozi and the useless Ngozi who is declaring Biafra. You have no idea the millions they are investing to destroy Anyoma and Ikwere. And that is why when we look at our capacity and the people we are antagonizing, the people we are resisting, the people we are fighting against, my brother, we have overtried. But the point is, it's just unfortunate. I am their destiny and I'm their doom. In the midst of nothing, we will bring forth something. And so each time we come, we tell you this is not what we can do alone. Most of you don't understand. You think Igbo Biafra people are spending all this money because they love Ikwere people or because they love you? And then think again. Let me explain to you further so that you understand. You see, it was in 1934. The excesses of the colonial master was evidence everywhere. They were doing everything as they wish. They actually decide who live and who die. And Nigerians were tired of this. And I want to believe that in the coming days, Nigerians should be tired of all these criminals who are hitting our heads together just to be politically relevant, just to recolonize us, just to expand their territory. I pray one day we will get to that level. And now what they are trying to do is divide all of us. You will see the criminal Igbo people. They will soon come here and tell you, you are fighting the Holy Igbo. You are fighting the Holy Igbo. They want to rip you off emotionally and sentimentally. And they are your real enemy. Let me digress further before I go back to 1934. You see those Igbo people on my platform telling you, he is fighting in the Igbo, he's fighting. They are your problem. You see these Igbo people tell you they are Biafra. They are your problem. You see these Igbo people telling you they are obedient movement. All of them are your problem, knowingly or unknowingly. You see these Igbo people who believe that they are marginalized. They are your problem. Because it's high time you begin to ask yourself questions. Go inside. We don't need you to answer us. Just go inside and begin to ask yourself this question and tell yourself the bitter truth. Of course, it's obvious many Igbo people are speaking up already now. And that's because the water has gotten all of your neck. And so each time we're trying to point out to you to the right direction, they're distracting you. They want you to believe that their fight is your fight. But their profit has never been your profit. Because the last time I checked, more than 80% of Igbo people are still living in abject poverty. Majority of your old people and the uneducated one. And so it has to resort to prostitution, pushing of fake drug, living hopeless life. Did you not see Edo State recently went to arrest all the sex workers, all the Oloshu in Edo State, but starting from a particular area. But lo and behold, it's a shame anyway. 50% of the Oloshu arrested in Edo State are Igbo people, most especially from Anambra. And yet they tell you Anambra are the richest. Is it Oloshu wet? And then the remaining 50%, it's a shame as well that Delta State produced 30%. But none of them were from Edo State. But yet we are here telling you, Edo people are doing Olosho. Okay, maybe those people actually remove Edo people from disgracing Edo. But we are not like that. We call a spade a spade. Because in the end, there is nothing to gain. I'm coming. And why am I saying all these things? It was in 1934. Nigerians came together. That time, Nigeria was only two. There was nothing like Wazobia. Nigeria was just northern and southern protectorate. The Hausa and the Middle Belt were on the northern protectorate. The Yorubas and the Igbo were in the southern protectorate. Then there was no Wazobia. The Yoruba people and the Igbo people were like 5 and 6. And so if you are an Igbo person, you need to begin to ask questions. Why all this rancor all of a sudden? The Yoruba and the Igbo, let's say from 1934, were like 5 and 6. Because the Yoruba actually said, we need to put a stop to this. They formed a group of Yoruba people. This very group decided to create what is known as Lagos State Youth Movement. And of course, this Lagos State Youth Movement started protesting, registering their displeasure against the colonial master. And everybody thought it's something to do. This is a way to go. And don't forget, the Igbo and the Yoruba were of the Southern Protectorate. And so the Igbo quickly joined with the Yoruba. Of course, that is the combination of the South-South, the Southeast, and the current-day South-South geopolitical zone. They became one. And by the time the Yoruba saw that other tribes have joined, they decided to change it from the Nigerian Youth Movement. Nigerian Youth Movement, as of that 1934, had a very loud voice. The imperialists had no option than to yield. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was not in Nigeria. He was not part of the people that formed Nigeria. But meanwhile, they are the people that the colonial master have prepared to make all our life miserable. And the unfortunate thing now is that if they cannot control us, then they destroy it. If they cannot have it, then nobody should have it. I'm trying to explain something to you. And so when the fame of the Nigerian Youth Movement was all over the media across the globe, and then out of the blues came Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Of course, the Igbos and the Yoruba were friends. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and so many others, they invested huge amount of money in that project. But to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, he thought he was going to gain. There will be financial gain. You don't trust that man. Let me digress. Check everything Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe has gotten involved. If there is no financial gain for him, just like ordinary Igbo man, that thing he must bring it down. That is what he did during Biafra. Since Ojukwu did not allow him to be the chairman, he pulled out. And most of you will not know that he was actually the one who wrote the Biafran supposed national item. Now, how did he end up in Nigeria? Because even the Biafra criminal did not allow him to be in charge, because they know he's a criminal. Check everything he has been part of. But he's a hero. Let's leave him and continue. And so when Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe discovered that he couldn't manipulate so many of them, like Obafemi Awolowo, and the money he was expecting was not coming, because he actually participated greatly with his African Pilot newspaper. And so he hands up. He told Yoruba people, well, the way things are, I'm not going to be part of this. Let me go and focus on my business. Nobody fought him. Nobody questioned him. Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe channeled the power of his African Pilot newspaper and descended on Awolowo. He called all of them that formed the Nigerian Youth Movement bigotry, seduction, useless name. You say you are not part of them. Why are you trying to drag them down? Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, why are you trying to destroy them? And so the greater enemy that the Nigerian Youth Movement has to fight is no longer the colonial master, but Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, an Igbo Biafra man. And that is when everybody say, to your tent, O ye Nigeria. That is where the first strife started. And when Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe has succeeded in destroying the movement, he quickly ran and formed Igbo Union, as you have Ohanaeze Ndigbo today. And with this Igbo Union, they were able to carry out their expansionist agenda. It didn't start today. Yoruba people saw this thing is good, and Yoruba formed their own Yoruba Union, because Yoruba did not form their union first. And this gave rise why they were able to colonize who they colonized. Let me digress before I continue. You see, that is some of the things we are trying to sensitize our South people. This is the same thing I am trying to sensitize my Abo people, my Anyoma people, my Ikwere people, my Akwa Ibom people, my Ogoni people. If you don't form a union, if you don't form a movement, all of you are gone. And they won't let us. But since it's not against Nigerian constitution, we will not stop until we achieve it. And then let us not stop ourselves. The moment Igbo people form gang to antagonize other Nigeria, Yoruba saw the danger. They formed their gang. Hausa saw the danger. They formed their gang. And after maybe 3-5 years of this impersonation, this colonization, this indirect rule manifestation, Ijaw formed the Ijaw Youth Movement. And now, those of you from South, is there any group in the South, whether Benin, whether Delta, whether Cross River, whether Akwa Ibom, is there any youth movement, any group that can talk and they listen to them? Only two. Yes, Ijaw has population, believe me. They have the number to pull the shot. But if Isaac Adakaburu didn't see into the future and form this Ijaw youth movement, Ijaw will not have mouth today. Go and ask Edwin Clark. Ijaw is talking today because they have a platform to air their view. This is what we are asking people of South to do. This is what we are asking people of people of Delta, Edo people, all of you. Ndiabo, this is what we are asking you to do because you are voiceless. But they tell you that don't mind him. He's a selfish agenda. Don't mind him. Makanunya money he be money apo YG here. Ya no de nunya money he be money apo YG here. And of course, with time, Ken Saro-Wiwa caught the vision. And that is why he formed the Ogoni Liberation Movement. And if those Mozob of Ogoni speak today, Nigeria will pay attention. Forget about that Ken Saro-Wiwa was murdered. Who speak for Benin people? And when they tell you, when we are growing to that level of maturity, where we will have a normal voice, Senator Ned Nwoko is telling us that they should give us to Igbo people. That time when Ikwere is getting to the level, despite the fact that they have Obako Ikwere, Senator Mbata is telling them to give them to Igbo people. And despite the time that Benin is over mature to have a voice that speaks for Edo people, some people are saying Asia is not Benin, Benin is Asia, Asia is not, all because of the same Igbo Biafra. But will you understand? We don't have job, we live in uncompleted building, we don't have sense. But let me tell you before I continue. You see this God who owns this universe. When he wants to destroy the world with water, he sent Noah. Noah was not a popular man. He was not a famous man. He's only a carpenter who must build the ark. And he built the ark and checked the rest of his life. It's not necessary. Nothing glorious about it. He became a drunkard. He cursed his son and blah, 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 blah. But then, each time you remember the flood, no, there was a Noah. And so at that moment, the division in Nigeria started. The energy and resources that would have been geared into building one unimaginable prosperous nation called Nigeria. Now they are spending it creating the... Yes, can any Igbo Biafra man tell me why spending this huge amount of money to destroy Nigeria? Why are you spending this huge amount of money to unite Igbo? Was I not on Radio Biafra telling you that we are Igbo, Abo is Igbo, all of us are Igbo? Do you think I was drunk? Do you think I was insane? Because we can choose to be who we want to be. On one condition, if all my people agree. Awusa people can wake up today and say we are Yoruba people. Igbo people can wake up today, they say they are Kafanchan people. And if all of them agree, you cannot forget in a hurry. Whatever one or two of you agree to do on earth, it will be recognized by heaven. And if heaven and earth will agree with it, who then are you to antagonize the law of nature? Whereas in the presence of two or more witnesses, a matter is established. All you needed is to fulfill the law of nature. Allow it to come naturally. And then we can be able to, from this heterogeneous society of our Nigeria, we can create a homogeneous society, even without the twist of its previous heterogeneous. But they know this truth. But they want to force the process on us. And what we become will not be on our own advantage. And we will not take the fall anymore for anybody. And so I ask all of you who are sponsoring bill to frustrate the government of the day, who exactly do you think you're frustrating? All of you who are the back door trying to unite my people and deceive my people by every means necessary, who exactly do you think you are doing? All of you who are now chasing us from our farmland, whether it could be Fulani herdsmen, whether it could be Igbo herdsmen, all of you, these resources, if you have invested it in our land, don't you know we would have progressed more than this? All of you on social media trying to rewrite history, editing all these resources you are spending to destroy Nigeria. Why not for a moment pause and said, what if we put it towards developing Nigeria? Imagine if we wanted to launder the image of Nigeria before the global community. I am telling you that in less than 6 months, every Nigerian will return home from diaspora. And we have had enough, a fair share of human capacity. And we cannot shy away from this truth. Neither can the world deny our uniqueness as a people. You check about the most doctors, the unusual, beautiful doctors, brilliant ones around the world. Nigerians are there. Talk about technology, talk about innovation, talk about anything Nigerians want to get involved. Forget about it. We will show you what you have not seen before. Look at ordinary Yahoo. The people who teach us Yahoo are now running for Yahoo. Look at other areas of life. But you people spend your time and resources to create a heterogeneous environment for us to coexist. And you come out and stupidly, hopelessly tell us, you got to build our one Nigeria. Your voice talk about one Nigeria, but your action denies everything about it. And I understand I'm not better than you. And I'm not telling you to stop doing what you are doing. No, destroy Nigeria. We are here to stay. I'm only calling on fellow Nigerians who see the need that we must remain as one Nigeria until we say otherwise. When I mean we say otherwise, until for a greater purpose, we decide to disintegrate. And I'm saying this, I'm from Delta State, so you can't tell me that my people don't have anything. That is why I want one Nigeria. No, Nigeria is feeding on the misery of my people, my state, and my region, in particular and in general. Others have. They are stealing it from backyard door. And so when I tell you, even as the person feeding Nigeria, yes, you heard me right, even as the region feeding Nigeria, somebody from the state feeding Nigeria, one of the wealthiest states in Nigeria, telling you that we must remain one. You should understand that there is no personal gain there. Because after all, we are the one who are supposed to begin to fight to divide Nigeria. After all, we are the one that first made the move and said divide Nigeria. And today, we have seen the future. And we know that divided Nigeria is not an option. Nigeria is here to stay. And you have to deal with it. And so for you to be spending your money trying to unite us, spending your money trying to cause tension in the name of Biafra, Fulani headsmen, Miati Allah, causing confusion, you need to begin to rethink. And for those of you who they use now to achieve their aim, how about people, if you like, get sense. If you like, think it don't concern you, you will never have a voice. If we cannot pull the shot, call Anyoma people. And then we are Ika people already. We are Abo people already. We are Wa people already. We must have a movement. And as a region in Nigeria, until they divide us, because there is every tendency, as they are planning to restructure Nigeria, there is every tendency they will disband us. We may not be South-South in the nearest future. Because South-South already is a threat to all the criminal, all the enemy of Nigeria. They're now afraid of South-South because it's obvious we can never be manipulated anymore. What they did to Midwestern region is enough. And what most of you in the South-South region suffered under the influence of the old Eastern region, I think we have all learned enough. And so they may break us. But until then, if we cannot pull our region together, let us start from pulling our community, our tribes, our people together. And not until we have voice like Ogoni people, the Mozob of Kensariwa. Not until we have voice like the Ijo youth movement like that of Isaac Adakaburu. Not until we have voice like Ohaneze Ndibu or Fundi Igbo. And not until we have voice like that of OPC or Afeni Ferry. Not until we have that voice like Arewa Conservative Forum. My brother, your minority is upper class. And whatever they wish, they do to you. No, you can imagine. Somebody will wake up and say, you are migrate from my place. You must be from my place. And when you say no, they say you are idiot. You are useless. You are hopeless. This is where I'll bring the broadcast to an end. And I want to believe you know what I'm saying. But in case you don't know, we will keep telling you until the truth dawn on you. I'll go to my comment section and then collect some insult. And let's continue from there. I see Ogumbo. I greet you, Ogumbo. Good morning from here. I see Oharenka, Juicy. He said, talk about ourselves. Why are so frustrated and good for nothing person? Talk about ourselves. So who is ourselves? And the last time I checked, Jones, because you are really jonesing. You have mouth. This is what I'm asked to do, to build the ark. I'm not sent as a judge. You now that know ourselves, why not talk of yourself? You are just another frustrated criminal Igbo Biafra man. By their comment, we know them. Frustrated human being. Me and you, who look frustrated? That's the problem of Igbo Biafra people. Once they have 10,000 naira, they are the richest tribe in Nigeria. But your villages are being abandoned. Profiakwa. Talk about ourselves. Who is ourselves? Don't you have mouth? Why don't you talk about yourself? You want me to keep quiet so that you unite my children when we are gone? That will be the last thing you will do. None of you will be allowed to sell the next generation of our people. Go and fight for your Biafra if you don't have sense. You say you know that Igbo are Igbo are bad. Why did you go and join IPOB Biafra? You are so miserable. That is your problem, Jones Igbo man. You are just another Igbo man, nothing more. You see, what you people don't understand is your ability to take the fall when you are wrong. And that was my fault. Trusting Igbo Biafra people. And now I will make sure nobody trusts them again. How about that? Have you seen me deny one day I was not with them? In fact, I was in charge of Africa. I controlled the whole of Africa until Nnamdi Kanu compromised the whole process and criminalized it. And I antagonized him and I pulled back. That is when I become frustrated and miserable, according to you, Jones. But your own frustration has just started because you will never unite anybody. In fact, that Southeast, we are going to save the non-Igbo in the Southeast. And then we are coming to save the progressive-minded Igbo people who are not part of your criminality. We are not going to leave Ebonyi people behind, except those of them that have learned criminality for Igbo Biafra people. How about that? So you know Igbo people are bad people. Look at you. So you know your father is a bad man. And what have you done about that? What have you done about that? Igbo man. Move on. We have passed that your stage. I see you here. You say Nnamdi Azikiwe betrayed Marcus Garvey. The flag Nnamdi Azikiwe designed for Biafra is a proof of Nnamdi Azikiwe betrayal of Marcus Garvey. Of course, this Igbo Biafra, trust them to your own detriment. That is why that Johnson idiot, a very useless, low-life Igbo Biafra man, don't have sense. You know, normally they think when they come, they insult you, they now demoralize you. No. No. He that is down fears no fall. The last person you will want to fight, don't fight somebody that has nothing to lose. Don't do that. You don't fight a disciplined person. You don't fight a silent person. There are people you should not fight. You see, out of these 5 group of people you should not try to fight in your life. You see that one that has nothing to lose? Don't fight him. You see that one that is silent? Don't fight him. You see that one that is very disciplined? Don't fight him. You will not like the reception. Say, thank God we the Anyoma. You can imagine Igbo man don't know you and represent criminal. Look at the Jonesin man. Look at the Jonesin man. Where is your picture? We the Anyoma. What do you know about Anyoma? Igbo man. I have seen you people platform. Igbo people creating Anyoma platform, impersonating us. And if we have kept quiet, you people will have your way. You know where God will punish all of you in the name of Anyoma? Is that everybody is still standing on their own. Enter Abo and tell us garbage. That we are Igbo and we are not Igbo. The thunder that will fire you is coming from Ozozo in Rivers State, Iche land. No, go to Okwane and tell them that they are Ndowa Liriri because they tell you they are not Igbo. No, go to Nzogwo Okpanam village and tell them that they are Igbo. When you people are crying that we are not Igbo, you are a disgrace. You are only here to drag Igbo people further into the mess they are already in. What a shame. Thank God we are Nyoma people, we don't know you. But when I was doing Biafra, you know me. I was your hero, Onyoshi. Here am I to Ikesi Anyango. If you be fail, if you be chanting, Onyibu, Mumu. I am criminal. So what is Nnamdi Kanu? I am criminal. What is Simon Ekpa? I am criminal. What is Peter Obi? I am criminal. What is all your Igbo leader, all of you? What are you people if I am a criminal? What is Ojukwu if I am a criminal? Igbo Biafra people, you people get sense. It is as simple as ABC. Stop uniting us. You started this thing. You will end it. Any day will come and see Anioma Isibu on social media. You will hear from us. Anywhere you see, you say create Anioma and dash Igbo people. You will hear from us. Any day you come and say Ikwere Isibu, you will hear from us. Any day you come and say Godemi Gode Shakami Shaka is Biafra, you will hear from us. Mind your tent. But better still, let's put our energy, our time, and our resources towards building not just a prosperous Nigeria, a transparent one, the one all of us can call our home. How about that? Hausa gradually is having sense. They are moving back. I will not fault Yoruba people by now because they've done their best. You can all witness what Tinubu reform is trying to bring. And we know most of you are preparing to bring him down. But let's see how it goes. But then the Igbo said of them to go and repair their home. Criminal like Johnson is coming to tell us morality he knows nothing about. We continue from here. Cheers. Have a nice day.